We're live, so don't swear. Don't be. Bruce is having his cake and eating it too. What have we got, Bruce?
Birthday cake.
Whose
We're
birthday?
just literally having this conversation, weren't we, Sam?
I've been to a birthday party.
Did you get a party bag? Where did you go? Because my kids'
Fantasy World
party,
used to be the best.
Yeah, Fantasy World. Or we used to do Immingham Leisure Centre a lot because we were in Kilby, and they used to have a big old bouncy castle, nice big slide, but no death slide. Bruce, did you get to go on the submarine and go into the ball pit in the Fantasy World?
It was a bit of a disaster, really.
Oh, death slide shut.
We had to leave early.
What did you do?
You was asked to leave early.
It was my stepmom's birthday, and she was 62. Not that matters. And we were just about to eat tea, and her mum was there, and she was poorly. She was sick, so we all had to come home. There's no joke. That's just. There's no punchline. She was poorly.
Please tell me she threw up all over the birthday cake.
I mean, I could say she'd eaten too much chocolate and sweets and stuff, but no, she wasn't very well. Poor old Pam, bless her.
She got hammered, did she?
Anyway, so we all got. We had to come home. We came home with cake because Nanny wasn't very well. So yeah. So I brought me cake and my spaghetti bolognese home. But I think
hang on, whoa. The birthday food was spaghetti bolognese, was it?
There he is with his pint of milk as well. Sam was at a birthday party yesterday.
My little sister made spaghetti bolognese. When it's a birthday, we all go to somebody's house for tea. Like somebody with family member, not just a random person.
That's like everyone on your street.
Because you're too tight. You're too tight to go out.
Just hearing.
No, Mike.
Can we come in?
For my 50th, right? I treated them all to that Turkish place on the avenue.
Is that what, the one on the corner?
Yeah.
Was it any good, or is it just a front?
So I get lasagna or spaghetti bolognese for the family's tea, and then I took them out to we went to the Turkish place. It was very nice. But yeah, it cost me like 300 quid.
Is it somebody's house you know? Is it somebody else's you know, or you just go around and knock on random doors for the party?
No, it's a proper family member. Well, sort of. She's married to my dad.
No. Can I ask a question as well? Because while we're on restaurants, what's happening with the Agra? We've never mentioned poor Mr. Accra passing away. Do we know if it's all right or it's going to continue? Bruce, you're the man with his finger on the pulse.
Well, Artel and Stockwood and Thingy were there the other night. Artel said in his interview last week.
Stockwood, Aitken and Waterman.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Agra lately, but Kamal used to be quality. He moved up to Middlesbrough. The guy that used to run it ran it for years. And he last time I saw him, he was chasing us around the counting house because we got a reservation for all the football parents from Maisie's family, but everyone got pissed and decided that they didn't want to go. And we got a table booked for about 14 people, and they just wanted to go out and carry on drinking. Ended up with me and Claire sat at this table. I felt horrendous for him. Anyway, I'll shut up and eat your cake for a minute and let you lot chat.
There's so many criticisms going in for Sam. Rob saying, can Sam sort his clock out, please? Unless I'm mistaken, it's not 17 minutes past 4.
No, the clock's buggered. Funnily enough, I tried changing the battery. I've changed the battery on it this week and changed it again. I'm gonna have to buy a new one, I think.
There's an allegory for you there, Sam, isn't there?
The broken clock's right twice a day. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
But in typical fashion, you must have taken it down to change the battery, that not working, gone, do you know what I'm now going to do? I'm now going to put this back up onto the wall, not working.
What battery does it take?
Well, it looks crap if I take it down. So this is.
I'll be honest. I think you're over relying on how much that clock's doing for that wall, mate.
Yeah, might put some stuff behind it.
Sam, when you said you've taken it down twice and you need to get and put it back up and you need to get a new one, do you mean a clock or you need to put a new battery in?
No, I need to get a new clock. The battery, it's had 2 new batteries and it's still broken, so I need to buy a new clock. There's someone, I can't remember who it is, who's obsessed with my clock. They put it up every week. It's purely ornamental at the moment. It has absolutely no purpose to be served whatsoever.
Bit like the four of us.
A ticking clock.
Yeah. So you can say, actually, this week I will go out and I will buy. Maybe not this week actually, because I'm away most this week actually. But and I won't be on the pod next week. But the week after, I'll be there with a brand new clock.
We've
I
just got.
don't want you telling me on Saturday that you can't afford to buy me a pint because you bought a new clock this week.
I can't, mate, because I'm in Baku on Saturday, so I won't be actually be in the ground on Saturday. I'm afraid. I'm not going.
Why are you going to Baku?
For the Grand Prix.
They won't let you in. They won't let you back in. They won't let you back in.
They've approved my visa. I'm going.
You off to the Grand Prix in Baku?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
It's Azerbaijan, that.
What's wrong with that, Bruce? It's really good fun.
That sounds expensive.
It was weirdly cheap, actually. The flight, it's cost. Apart from the fact we got screwed over by the Airbnb this week, as in, so they cancelled it on us and then relisted it at twice the price, and so we've ended up. It's only cost about £700 for flights, Airbnb, and Grand Prix tickets for the whole thing, and we're going Wednesday to Monday. So that's not bad value, I don't think.
No, in this day and age, I suppose that's not too bad.
No, that's
will they let you into Baku's Azerbaijan, isn't it?
Yeah, they will. They've approved my visa.
They might not let you out.
Hello, Alex. You back?
You make sure you don't do anything.
Look,
Alex's computer is broken.
It went blue screen of death, and then said updates, and it's been.
Do you want to buy a laptop now? Alex, do you want to buy a laptop?
Didn't you get this one off you?
It's gone.
Yeah, just what's the mysterious price here if the laptop's going to be exactly what his bill was at the Istanbul place last night in at the top of St. Peter's Ave.
Bruce, you got any laptops for sale?
Yeah, but it's a seller's market when I know that your current computer is shit. Price is going up. I'll bring it down on Saturday if I come.
Yeah, please do, mate. What school is it from?
How dare you?
Look, I'm just checking.
That wasn't a denial, wasn't it?
I made it myself.
Made it yourself. Why is it? Why
I've
does it load up?
I've got a Microsoft Surface.
That's posh.
It don't work. It don't work, but you can have it.
Not mine.
Who now doesn't have a Microsoft Surface?
It's dead. That I haven't got a Microsoft Surface.
You still use your fucking phone.
I like my phone. You're all smaller on that.
What's going on with this thing now? Do you want to look there? Here's the side bits. Look, it's proper shit. There we go.
I thought you were tidying that up the other day.
I did.
That is tidy.
That's tidy. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, it's also my workbench as well because you got.
Show us the toilet.
Oh. Can you see it? It's got stuff on it. I can't do this.
This is a bit niche now. Show us the toilet, Mike.
Yeah.
I look rosier in this.
Well, no, I've been to Alex's house, and his podcast studio is literally the cupboard in the toilet. Under the
in
stairs.
the toilet, is it? It's next to the
I
toilet.
thought that was the old house.
No, the only way to get to that studio is to go into the toilet.
Yeah, but...
And then it's the cupboard at the side of the toilet, which is just big enough for you to get a chair in.
You mean where most people put bog roll?
Yeah, basically, he's in the bog roll.
Even by our standards,
well, that's the name of the pod sorted.
Even by our standards, the start of this week's podcast has been bleak.
No, it's fine. People like this. It's raw.
Aaron says, am I watching Homes Under the Hammer?
Do you want me to take you on a tour of the house? Is that what you want me to do?
No, thank you.
No.
All right. Let's have a look. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec.
Can you work everything from there? No, we can't.
Mike, can't you run the credits?
I could do, but I don't know. I might break it.
No, go on. Can you put the young ones on? I like that.
Hang on back. I'll have a look. I'll see what's still here.
It needs to be slick though. Like we don't talk about it. You just do it.
Slick is my middle name.
Slack on it.
There we go.
Anyway, Don Green's back.
Right,
now, so
Alex, you don't need to do anything now. Mike's about to roll the credits.
Oh, this will be fun. Go on, Mike.
No, it's
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy.
This antiquated main stand, I can feel it vibrating.
Say, like a penalty here, there'll be fish flying about that. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football!
This is Vernon! Vernon scored! The supporters are invading the pitch because Grimsby Town have caused one of the biggest upsets in their history.
Love it.
Well done. I mean, beautiful, Mike. You pressed that button with precision.
I'm going to
Good
smile.
morning.
at those cre-
And
those
it cut
credits
Bruce
every
off
week.
halfway through his sentence. Beautiful.
Go on.
This is not a coup. That's what you've been, Alex.
What was that, Bruce?
I'm going to smile at those credits every week, I think.
I'm glad. We did our best with it. I didn't get. Did you get Talk Sports commentary? Have you been able to download that? Because you got everything, didn't you?
I've got most bits, I think.
We'll have to have a look.
I'll have to see what I've got, but yeah, no, I think I should be smiling at that. Did you see what that twat Haaland said about Town earlier?
No.
Apparently, in his interview, I don't know if it's true. I haven't seen it, but I've seen 2 or 3 different like online social media, like away days and people like that.
This is going to be bullshit.
Grimsby, but in his interview at the end of the game, I don't know whether he did or not, but he just said Grimsby beat them, and something about so it was always going to be easy for us or something.
He's not. He can't have said that.
Shit twat. We scored 14 against him there, and he scored 3.
Right, well, he can't have been
He's
at
a bit
Blundell Park.
shithousey, though, isn't he?
He can't have been at Blundell Park in 1984 when we put 4 past them, can he?
No, exactly. And he's a Leeds lad, so he's got to get.
I'll check the internet because the internet's always right.
Check that for me, Mike. Can you do that BBC? What do they call it? The BBC Verify.
Astro wants to know.
Yeah.
Can I ask, do you have the Humberside coverage? I do, Astro. But considering you gave a tweet to David Artell to make sure he ran me out of the cricket, you ain't having it.
And do you know what? This might be controversial, but
Go on.
when I don't listen to the Humberside stuff very often because usually you're at the game. But afterwards, when I like to listen to it, I've sometimes messaged Matt Dean and said, "Have you got a link to whatever?" Or I find it online, and all you've got is Gary Croft doing his Harry Met Sally impression in the background, and it's just like screaming. Matt will be doing a good bit of commentary, and then there's Crofty in the background just going mental. And I'm sure it never used to be like that. I'm sure that Alan Buckley didn't used to do that when JT had got him on. Anyway, I like to hear what the commentator's saying rather than Crofty
I've got an
screaming.
update for you.
You've got to bear in mind that at the London Stadium, you all got to see it live. That was all I heard was Gary Croft when we scored the winner.
Yeah, let's leave that one there, Bruce. Mike.
So, according to the internet, which we know is always right, and you can believe everything that's on it, there's lots of these accounts that have said he said these exact words. Somebody rather wisely has asked Grok, and we all know Grok's always right, and they said no, he didn't say it. So inconclusive.
Well, if Elon Musk is saying he didn't say it,
There are multiple accounts saying it, though, aren't there?
Yeah, but they're all saying the exact same thing, mate.
Oh, no, I know. Well, if that's what he said, though, that's what they would say. Anyway,
Elon Musk?
I apologise. I think I might have called him a nasty word. I apologise for calling him a nasty name if he didn't say it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. Great to have you along. That is most of the important stuff out of the way. Town drew with Cambridge United. We will talk about that. We will talk about... No, we've already talked about Jason becoming a Lord. We'll talk about the game to come against Sheffield Wednesday. And we'll go to our roaming Yorkshire reporter to tell us what it's like in the land of no jobs, massive council estates, and movies with strippers, former miners, strippers, whatever it is, brassed off.
Pete Postlethwaite. That about right?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it now. Mike, what's
Hello.
it like in Yorkshire? And how are they preparing for a game against Town?
So it's rare grim in Yorkshire. Proper.
You don't need
people
to. Why are you dialing down your accent?
It's very grim in Yorkshire. That's my Harrogate accent. Yeah, they'll all be drinking bitter and breeding the whippets and flat caps and saying "Hey up, love" to everybody on Tuesday. So
Jack Thornton is coming in, showing him to be a glory supporter of the incredible Nth Degree, saying, "This is my first away day since Brighton."
just be careful. There'll be large numbers travelling, not only Grimsby fans, but obviously there'll be a lot coming back from Thorpe Park.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike's made his money now. There's not much now. Eating's gone off. Brenda's Brassic. Jack is defending himself. You didn't miss out, Goda. It comes with love. It's only that. Don't worry. We're not looking down your nose at you. But you should have gone to Milton Keynes. It was good. Yeah, Town drew with Cambridge. Can someone tell me about that game? Because we need to go into Sam's hot take that it is the worst game he has seen in forever. One of the worst games. So I was doing my best to work this one out. So let's go with games that you remember. Was it as bad as Grimsby Town 0, Sutton United 0?
It was comparable to that. That was that is the barometer by which I judge terrible games of football.
Stop doing our. Sorry, I've just got to tell Mike he's doing aristocratic impressions of a German.
I said
leader
before you start, we need to hear his opinion. Hang on.
Oh, he's got the buttons. This is not good. Go on, Sam. What were you going to say? What were your thoughts on Grimsby Town 1, Cambridge United 1?
It was just the worst spectacle of a game of football, or purported game of football, I think I've ever seen. Just there was absolutely no rhythm, tempo, pattern, anything to it. The ball was out of play for the vast majority of the game. That's mainly as a result of Cambridge's sort of skullduggerous tactics. But it was just dreadful. So I was sitting at home. I'm often you sometimes watching games sort of lulling out, looking at other things on your phone or whatever. I was just sort of bored watching it. I just found it myself really difficult to engage with it because it was just how unabsorbing a spectacle it was. I thought we could have played until midnight and not scored until we got the penalty at the end. But other standout
until we did score.
Yeah, something like that. I know that is the barometer that Hurst describes one of the worst games of football he'd ever seen. Nearly watched a lot more games than I have. The game against Sutton the following season at home when we drew 1-1 when Rakeal Pike scored during the Ben Davies Sean Pearson, that was just as bad. But I'm sure there are some I'm forgetting, but it was absolutely dreadful spectacle. I mean, mainly as a result of we fell behind and then played into their tactics. But I just, as a spectacle, I thought it was dreadful. And also, I've seen Town play a lot worse than we did yesterday. It was just a kind of general analysis of the game.
If everybody can list what games they think were worse than that one, and do it in living memory. So in the last 3 or 4 years, that would be great. But I'm going to throw Grimsby Town v Sutton United as the epitaph of terrible games. There were 6 shots in that entire game. 6. Not on target, just 6 shots altogether. David Rice said, Jesus, Sam, good God, you never went in the Mike Leon era. Look, David, it wasn't great, the Mick Leon era, and I will pass over to Bruce, but there has been a shitload worse football than Mick Leon days now than there were back then. Bruce, what do you have to say on that?
I wasn't going in Mike Lyon's day, to be fair. So I can only go on the what people say, and they say it wasn't very good. But just going back to the game yesterday, I think that and the Bristol Rovers against Newport in the first home game of the season, against Shrewsbury in the Cup, and against Man United, Town have come racing out the blocks, and we've taken the game to the opposition, and we've pegged them back really early on. Bristol Rovers, for reasons that, probably they were the Man United after effects. And yesterday, we didn't dominate the team from the off. And I think we're going to struggle against these non-footballing sides. I mean, they were a massive team yesterday. All their players were, or most of their players were absolutely huge. My mate Shep was laughing at half time because the subs were all tiny. And they were warming up at half time. And he's like, oh, but they're obviously not big enough to play. But they were physical. It was like a Cambridge team of Dion, Dublin and Taylor. It was like a John Beck team. They were but we didn't have the answers yesterday. We were a bit slow and passive in what we were doing. When we run out of ideas, do you remember under Hursty when we started to play this playing out from the back, and we tried to play it under Hursty, and we would pass it along the lines and pass it along the back line, and they'd get the most touches in the game. And then it'd slowly go out to the left wing and down the left wing, but then he'd have nowhere to go or a few options. So he'd go back to the left back, and they'd go back across the line again. When this passing football and playing out from the back doesn't work well, and you see the top teams do it. You see Liverpool haven't been great this season so far. You've seen City last year. When it's pedestrian and people aren't on the game and they're not zipping about, it's not that effective. And if we concede first, if we keep conceding first at home, we're going to struggle. We need to be attacking teams from the off, like we were in the early games, pegging them back and getting that first goal. So they've got to come out and play a different kind of football. As soon as we let those teams, Bristol Rovers and yesterday Cambridge, get in front, they're going to use every tactic in the book. And like Sam says, they did. There were niggly little fouls. There were people rolling about. There was, they were knocking people over. There was elbows and out. We can't complain about that. We've let them get into the position. I mean, when that goal that they scored, the ball come across, the guy's got the freedom of bundle part to take a shot. I think it took a deflection off Warren, didn't it? But he just got the freedom. And if we want to be up at the top of the league, we've got to start sharper, I think, than we have done in the last. And I know Bristol Rovers was a little bit different, but yesterday it was Cambridge doing the attacking at the start and not us. And that's not the way that we've been playing. And I think we're going to struggle, like I say, if we don't attack teams from the off and peg them back and get the first goal in the games.
Do you think we were rattled at any point? I thought Cambridge came out of the block quite strongly and were in our face, trying to press us. They were absolutely, a physical side. You're absolutely right, John. It reminded Bruce. It reminded me of John Beck's teams. It was, but then you get to that point where then they slow it down to pedestrian pace, and every team will do that. I think we're going to struggle with finding clubs coming to Grimsby Town now and realizing actually it's going to be a really tough game of football. If we can get 10, 11 men behind the ball, slow them down, try and intimidate them to begin with, it might be an opportunity for us to take a point. I thought the first half was poor, but I thought the substitutes were pivotal to doing to getting us a point. I thought they brought in an added impetus, and that shows exactly what we've got this year, which is that strength in depth. If players do have an off day, we've got players there ready to take over and push in. I think we did enough for a point. We can talk about the referee in a minute. But we had more shots on target. We had more possession. I thought we did enough to gather a point. Mike, yes. Oh, sorry, Mike.
Go on, Bruce. You finish off.
I looked at the stats this morning, like you, and I was surprised how many shots we'd had. And I think I'm right in saying that our XG was over 2 again. And
I got 1.49.
Oh, was it 1.49? It was higher than theirs, though, wasn't it? I can't see that without my glasses, mate.
Because it was Cabby missed another penalty.
I'm just trying to look like I'm not as blind as I actually am. I was staring at my phone. But no, it didn't feel like we had that sort of attacking instinct. But I think you're right in what you're saying, and it'll be interesting to see again. And we have been for a long time. We're going to be better suited. Look how teams away from home are going to have to come at us. I mean, Cambridge had a bit of a go yesterday, but once they'd scored, it was just their guy. I think it was number 20, was it, up front? He was massive, and the lad with the blue strapping on his leg, and he ran his socks off. Absolutely, he harried, and he was a bit like Cam Gardner was against Man United. He hassled an entire defence almost single-handedly, and he was making them rush the passes, and I don't think he got substituted. I think he stayed on till the end, and he was a fit lad, and he epitomised what they did yesterday, grafting and working hard.
Yes, Mr. McMahon.
No,
you're right, Bruce. You're absolutely right.
I do have a slightly different view. I think it's very easy to overanalyze individual games. I think if you look back to Walsall, we played a team that was very direct, very physical, and played football that way, and we coped with that and won away from home. I don't really remember Newport, whilst maybe not being on Cambridge level, they weren't a little side that didn't put it about and play football that way to some extent. I just think yesterday, I think too many of our good players didn't have a good enough game. I don't think it was anything to do with the style of play. I think it was just how we were doing it. For example, Vernon and Burns are just not getting enough of the ball in the right areas at the right times. You know, and when Vernon does get it, he's up against two players and there's nobody trying to pull one of them away, going around the outside of him often enough. So I think it's less about the style and more about we just weren't at it as much. But that's going to take some time to look at how that plays out through the season. Thinking of the Bristol game, which you referenced, I think first half again we were terrible. It was very similar. But the second half of that game, I think we absolutely dominated them, to be totally honest with you. And if we took our chance, I think we should have won that game, to be fair. So I don't think they got in front and then just stopped us. I think on another day we would have won that game. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I was listening to something the other day, and we're in the top 4 of chance creations and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be a problem this season making the chances against anybody we play. But you look at it yesterday, and they come to play a certain way, and we did struggle with that to some extent to start with. But their goal is a breakaway goal. Everybody's tried to get back desperately to overdo it and get back to stop the counter attack. And we saw this under Hurst a few times, and absolutely every single one of them's overshot the ball and run into the 6-yard box. I mean, a little cutback, and he can put it in from the edge of the box. Unlucky, we had 3 players, Rodgers, McEachran and Warren, that all went across the line of the ball, but nobody got a touch on it, and it just went straight into the bottom corner. So
can I just say I've got a problem with Rodgers on that, because he turns his back on the ball.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really poor defending. I've been a real massive proponent of what he's done this season, but instead of making himself big, him and Warren stood basically next to each other. That's a 2-man wall there that stops that shot. He turned his back on that ball, and he's the one closest to it. He should take a little bit of responsibility for it. It's one of those shots from the edge of the area. Usually it gets pinged off somebody's toe and flies into the North Sea. But I thought Rodgers has to take a bit of the blame for that.
Maybe it's a case that he's just absolutely pelted it back to get back, and he's overshot it and he's knackered. But somebody needs to be pulling back and thinking, right, there's 6 players now. We're getting back in numbers, don't get me wrong, but there's 6 players that are absolutely pelting that. I'm just going to hang back and see who's coming behind them, because that happened a lot under Hurst. It's a great sort of mindset to have, to break your neck to get back, but nobody's watching what's going on behind. But other than that, that was about it. And I thought second half we probably deserved more than we got. Lucky to get a penalty. I think it was a penalty, but if you're getting a penalty in the last minute of a game, that is lucky. But I don't think it's too much to do with the style or the players or anything. I just think there was too many people not at it. And yesterday there wasn't an awful lot on the bench to change. I know the guys that came on did really well and affected it, but you've not got Danny Rose that can come on and maybe change. I don't get what you're pointing at, mate.
I was saying Bruce and Sam, because they both put their hand up.
So really quick, I don't think you've got.
I can't. I'm just shit at this. I'm never going to become the weather girl that I always wanted to be.
Yeah, just to finish off, we haven't got Danny Rose that could have come on and could have competed a little bit more physically and put himself about a bit. You've got players like Svan Sorsen that aren't available, so there was less options yesterday to think, right, 60 minutes in, let's just change this. But the subs that came on did help.
I think Walker's done well every time he's come on. We brought him on when we needed games changing, when we've been chasing games particularly, and he's done well. I think he's done well, and I also think that Vernon's been playing well. I'm not quite sure where is Staunton a backup for Vernon, or is he generally more of a left back?
He's a left back, mate. He's a left back,
he can go into midfield. So he's been bombing on. He's been bombing on, hasn't he? That our left back bombs on, and I think I won't say unlucky to not be in the team, but he's never let us down when he's come on, Staunton. And that delivery, you guys would have seen it better on the TV than I could see in the lower. how did Green and whoever else it was that slid in at the back post not score? It looked
Gazaresque, yeah.
Yeah, Green. I think Green's problem was he was outside the back post, and all he could get on it was just to hit. He couldn't get enough on it because it was that much in front of him. If he'd been level with the
all he had
post,
to do was sort of slide him and the ball into the net.
No, he was about 2 yards outside the post, and that's all he could do. But I think Staunton is technically a very good player, but he often comes on when we're chasing the game, so he's obviously going to be more sort of pushing on. But as we like to do with our fullbacks, we like to get them in midfield and like them playing. I think Sweeney has been a fantastic signing, and I rate him above Denver Hume, to be totally honest with you. But I think he was a little bit poorer than he usually is with the ball yesterday. But when Staunton came on, I thought he had a good game. So there's positions all over the park where players are competing.
I didn't realise, just finally before we go to Sam, I didn't realise how big Amaluza is. We bought, I wasn't. I wasn't sure whether I wasn't sure whether we'd bring Soons up Bell on earlier to play up top, but I think we went with the physical. I think he went with the physical to try and match up to them a little bit, because as soon as he came on, we were more of a threat both in the air and on the ground, holding it up, because we kept playing those balls. How many times yesterday? And it's not like us. How many times yesterday did their centre halves head the ball clear? Loads, because they were just mopping up. Cabby is not going to win. He's not going to win a header against them.
Cabby got gobbled up yesterday completely.
But when he brought Amaluza on, he played him up alongside him.
So Pete is telling us all off, and rightly so. We had 63% possession, 11 shots, 5 shots on target, 3 points off top. Only lost 1 game all season, and potentially taking 6K to Wembley. Get a grip. He also failed to forget to mention we beat Manchester United.
Did anybody say that any of what he said isn't true? We're talking about yesterday's game, aren't we? No one's been down on the season or anything. We're just talking about yesterday's game.
Well, I think you're all saying we're going to struggle against teams that don't play football. Well, considering that's most of League Two, then by reference to saying we're going to struggle against most of them.
I think if we let teams take the lead against us, we're going to give them something to sit on, and that makes it very difficult when they put 10 men behind the ball.
Sam, you've been waiting. Mike and Bruce have been dictating today. So you go. What were you going to say?
Unlikely to be so patient. I was looking at the league table actually yesterday evening, before I went out, and just sort of looking down at this sort of we want to call this various manifestations of anti-football, if you want to call what Cambridge played anti-football. We're going to have to find a way of dealing with it, because you've got Colchester in a couple of weeks, they're going to play that way. You've got Bromley, they're going to play that way. You've got Carl Robinson's side at Salford, they're going to play that way. Even Crewe were like that last season, if you remember. It's not very Crewe-like, but the back end of last season, they played a very negative, long throw type way, run the clock down. So, and I think Bruce is right, we're going to have to start games faster, be up and at and more, try to take the game to them, because if we allow teams to settle and then sort of, I think we're going to struggle, because League Two players, it's not like in the Premier League where they're all fantastic in the transition and they can just sort of, there's a load of momentum, you can create a load of momentum. It's very difficult to do that with League Two, with League Two players. Generally speaking, that's just what you're reading out a load of things that were positive. I think that's the nature of the standard that we've set ourselves for this season, honestly, that we are 3 points off the top. We did scramble a late point, which is a positive, and yet we're still feeling a bit down because of how good we've been, generally speaking, throughout the season. Take yesterday again, for example. They're a side that have come down from League One. They're managed by Neil Harris, and they came to us on the understanding they could not beat us at a game of football, so they had to play a kind of more negative, attritional style to get anything from the game. Basically, a tacit acceptance that we're a better side than they are. So for the eighth or ninth game we've played so far this season, we have been better than the opposition. But just because you're better than the opposition doesn't necessarily mean you'll win. I thought Cambridge was probably a better side than Bristol Rovers, but they were cut from the same cloth, sort of philosophically. But you'd imagine in sort of Cheltenham in a couple of weeks, they're going to set up because they're managed by Michael Flynn. There's an awful lot of this sort of attritional long bally type.
Sam's just coming on to slag off every League Two club, going, they're going to play shit. They're going to play shit.
Well, they are.
And you're shit as well, and you're a bunch of assholes.
The only ones who won't are Chesterfield because they're managed by
Amarin, long balling it to Maguire. Shit. League Two shit houses.
I was just thinking, can we get this lad on more often because he speaks a lot of sense. This Sam lad.
Yeah, this one. Sam 2.0. Two things. Sam, can you move a little bit to the left so I can put the comments up so I don't hide you? Just squidge over a little bit into the middle of the sofa.
I can't move, mate. I can't move to the left anymore.
It's gone to the right.
There we go. Perfect. There we go. Look, and I can do that, and people's comments can go up. Secondly, you're absolutely right. But I do think we're being a bit. I think the difference is, though, this season is we do have the strength and depth of the squad. We made substitutions. It did change the game. It did change what we were doing, and that's what we haven't had. And the strength and depth is only going to get better when Danny Rose is back. Well, Gilson is in there as well. We're going to have opportunities in different layers. So if players are underperforming, not that they're meaning to, it's just their off day or the other guy's got their number, we can at least give them something else to think about.
So I think we'll probably go to Barnet and win next week. That's the kind of that's the sort of mindset I'm in this season. I thought we'd win yesterday before kick-off. I was wrong, but I think we'll go to Barnet and win next week, and I think we'll go and beat Cheltenham the following week. I think we're a really, really good side. We've got a really, really good opportunity to do something, which is why I was critical of the performance yesterday, because we can't be spaffing this opportunity with this group of players in this league. Sorry,
I think it could be a big point. I think that could be a big point, Sam, at the end of the season yesterday, because if we'd have lost the second successive home league game 1-0, you know, I think we sort of, maybe we're not quite as good as we think we are. And like you say, we are a very good team. We've got the potential to have a really good season. And I think to walk away from Lundell Park yesterday against a team like that set up like that took the lead against us again, it felt like, you know, everyone walked away with a little spring in the step. Yes, we'd like to have won, but we got a point when it looked like we'd get nothing. And I think that keeps the confidence up. Like you know, Alex has just said, or you know, one of you just said, if you'd have said you can have 4 points from MK Dons and Cambridge, we'd have all, you know, that's still promotion form. Draw at MK Dons, you beat Cambridge at home, and then you go on to Barnet. So it's, you know, we picked up the 4 points, and like Sam says, at the moment, I fancy us away from home against anybody because the opposition's going to have to play a different kind of game to get a result against us, and the fans are going to demand that they come out and go for it, and that opens up the game, which will suit us.
And actually, it's better to beat Milton Keynes and get the draw against Cambridge. You take points off promotion rival. But that's the sort of paradox there. If they're disappointed not beating someone you think you should do, beating sides around you is better.
Aaron says, I'm just happy we don't have to worry about not getting to 50 points anymore. We've not got there yet, Aaron. Wait till we get there first. And then we can be Bruce shaking his head. So anybody got anything else to add to the performance before we get into the good stuff?
Yeah, just one thing. For as direct as they were and all those long throws they were putting in, I did notice just how good Kieran Green was at defending our own box with his head. I think he was the free man yesterday, and he pretty much headed absolutely everything that came into that box as a set piece. So as direct and as physical as they were, that wasn't the problem. I think yesterday was the problem. Just too many players, just a little bit off it.
I thought their fans were very good yesterday. I thought they brought decent numbers for a team that's been on the slide. I thought it was quite funny when they're 11th in the table that they're singing that they're going up through the leagues. That was quite funny. They've just been relegated back down to League Two, so I don't think they're going very far up the Football League. But fair play to them. They sang pretty much from the first minute to the last. Like I say, we encouraged that in the way that we didn't dominate the opening exchanges, and then they took the lead, and then the fans had something to get hold of as well. But no, their fans were really good yesterday, and it was good to see 7,100 and something. Sam, wasn't it?
Did they get thanked for coming?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
He didn't thank them for coming. No, he didn't. Yesterday, I was very happy with that. I can't remember I think it was before we'd scored, so I was listening out for it, ready to be angered. But no, he just said, which includes 400 and whatever it was from Cambridge. Thank you or something.
I mean, that's decent, isn't it?
Thank you for coming.
Well, that's the same thing.
Coming.
That's the same thing. What's he thanking
Thank
them
you. for coming.
No, he's saying no. Like at the end of his thing. So
He didn't specifically
Kev does it. He says
single out them.
thank you at the end of everything. If you listen to him, he's always done that. He says thank you. Can be
Kev-
advised that all main stand attenders will need to leave via the Osmond, via the Pond Tombstand night. Thank you. He's just
What
sort
was
of closing off what he's saying. He's not thanking them. He's just saying, is he kind of
Over.
Was he like goal scorer number 14, Justin Amaluza? Thank you. Is that what he
You
does
know
say
what
every
Kev
time?
does? What Kev does is he writes a little note that says thank you for coming, and he gets one of the stewards to pass it around the away fans so he knows that Bruce doesn't find out. It's clever, isn't it, Bruce? Sneaky. Oliver
This is
wants to know
what-
if any of us are going to Wednesday away. I'm not. I've got a wedding to
going.
deal with.
I'm going.
Bruce is going. Sam's going.
I've taken the afternoon off work. I'm going up on.
Mate, it
I'm
doesn't.
going
If you're not employed, it doesn't matter. He's not technically taking an afternoon off. Right. Let's talk about a couple of
2025,
things.
This is not last year. I've got a job now, Alex.
So,
He does have a job.
yeah, Jay's caviar, shit at pens or not?
Yes.
Yes, get him off them.
At the moment, yes, he is.
Do you know what? I went back.
He could be going through a bad patch.
Oh, get them thorns out your ass, McMahon.
So, I was. I did
Rose
go
has
back and
missed
watch
them.
it. No, hang on. I went back and looked at KB's penalties at Manchester United because Anana got a hand to the first one, which was straight down the middle, and the second one was half decent, the one he took. But the rest of them, the penalty yesterday was really poor. Like it was nowhere near anywhere. It was at the right height. He needs to just come off penalties, as we've clearly shown. Absolutely everyone who is an eligible player can take a penalty. So if Christy Pym wants to have a go, who was the best penalty do you think that we took against Manchester United?
I honestly think it was either Christy Pym or Staunton, because Christy Pym put it down and did a little touch next to the ball like he's going to take it like a goal kick, sprinted in and then just rolled it in.
Goalie ones are most spectacular. Yeah, so
like
Christy Pym
Santos.
could take
Their
penalties.
goalkeeper used to take them, didn't he?
And it's nothing to say with him. It's an in his head thing. But what it could potentially mean is it has a negative effect on him going forward, because he's a wonderful player. We're all fully behind him. But at the moment, penalties, he's just not got it just yet. And he will do. But what I don't want him to do is go, oh, hang on, I've missed like 15 penalties this season. I'm not going to be able to put this one away as he's running in one-on-one to win us the league. Bruce, what are you going to say? Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any harm with just stepping back for a little bit. Just give yourself. You're taking the pressure off yourself, aren't you? Because you know, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna stand up and be counted. I'm a forward. I take the penalties. It's a lovely attitude, but I equally don't think there's any harm in someone just putting it out. You're just saying, look, you know, you've been fantastic since you came, and I'm sure that you know he knows that, and the players know that, but it's you know it happens to the best of players, and it's an unnecessary pressure to put yourself under after missing 2 or 3. If it was just one, yeah, you know, you get back on the bike and you know you go again. If you know it's been 2 or 3 now, and I think that's going to put undue pressure on him that we don't need to do when we know that we've got other good penalty takers in the squad, even if it's just for 2 or 3 penalties. But then you're not going to change it if someone's doing well, are you?
There are plenty, as Alex said, there's plenty of players that have got the technical ability, and there's plenty of players that probably got the bottle, judging by how many scored against Man United. But I don't know if you remember, maybe it's last season or the season before, Danny Rose missed a
Mark,
couple.
did we beat Manchester United? I don't think we've mentioned it today.
Oh, we beat. Breaking news: we beat Manchester United.
I think we just need to.
Most of the pens we took were rubbish that night. It's just
no, they weren't
so bad.
They were on
Shut up.
target and they went in.
They
Sam,
were.
behave. A penalty that goes in is always a good penalty.
That's fair.
Always a good penalty.
That's fair.
Let me just quickly on Danny Rose. Danny Rose missed 2 or 3 quite close together one season, and he gave it to somebody else. And David Artell mentioned something, and then he came back a couple of weeks later and took them, and he's not had a problem since. So it doesn't mean you're shit. It just means it's in your head. Get away from it. Don't focus on it. Somebody else have a go. Come back again.
Do you think Danny Rose is finished at Town?
No chance.
Not a chance. No.
No chance. You were doing this. You got a problem with Bruce. You were doing this at the start of the year, Bruce. I remember when we lost at Bradford and we came out and we'd been well beaten and we'd been dominating midfield. And you came out going, well, we're going nowhere, Rose up top. I'm thinking, what's all this about? Like, we're going to dig Rose out of all people. No, if we're successful this season, Rose will have a massive part to play in it.
Aaron says if Jake Eastwood saves a penalty from you, you know you're crap at pens, which is fair.
Danny Rose done. I get abuse for hot takes. That's a bad one. That
it was, yeah, absolutely. Rob Clark says, "Get out, Bruce." And then the next fun bit, referee, pretty awful. Fourth official getting his grubby little greasy snitchy narky mitts involved, but when he has one call to make that makes an influence on the game, he cowardly shits himself. He shits himself in front of 7,000 people. The Cambridge United player, who I don't have a clue, drop kicking Cabia to the floor. Discuss, because I think that is a red every day of the week.
Can't speak.
I didn't see it. I was watching the ball. It was off the ball, or after the game, something had finished.
Which is why the fourth official shat it, because he would have been right. He was like 10 yards in front of it.
He's got to have lied because, he's gone away and told the referee, as Artel said in his interview, that he's just pushed himself up and it happens to be on his face. Now, I'm sorry, we all know if we're picking ourselves up, we can all move our hand a yard to the side and not push somebody in the face. But he seems to be explaining to the referee that what's happened is nothing. Now, he's either not seen it and he's made it up, or he's seen it and he's bottled it and lied, because that ain't what happened. And he's obviously very young from the sounds of it, but to say how you would just say you've not seen it, to actually come up with that explanation that Artel said he had, it just seemed ridiculous. It was Cabia who was having a running battle with those centre halves all game, and I think was quite deserved his yellow card actually in the first half.
6 to the one that does the other. But at that point, you've got in his head, and he's acted like an animal, and he should be off. And it's not Cabia's fault for him breaking. And it reminds me, once there was an incident very similar once when we played Mansfield, when Neil Bishop, I think it was I can't remember. I think it was young Harry Clifton, and he just kicked him to the floor, and the referee gave him out. It's amazing.
I remember that it was right in front of me in the main stand. It was very obvious, and the ref saw that as well and bottled it.
Yeah.
That yellow card for Cabia in the first half, I thought was never a yellow card.
It was.
I didn't see anything.
It was.
The ball went over the top, and he was chasing after it, and their guy just stood in front of him, and Cabia knocked him over. It wasn't even a foul. It was a foul.
He lifted his. They showed it 2 or 3 times, mate. He lifted his elbow right, and he knew exactly what he's doing, and he could have done it better to get away with it. He lifted his elbow into the back.
But it was only because the guy obstructed him. The guy shouldn't have been anywhere near him.
No.
I thought there was a foul in the lead up to their goal as well, because they've cut it in the highlights I've noticed. But when we lose possession at the back, their player has literally got his leg on top of the shoulder of our player, and given the soft shit that was been around. That was awful.
Cabia does need to watch it a little bit, because he does put himself around, and I love it. He's young and a bit raw, and he needs to be careful of it, because I saw that coming a mile off what he did to their defender in the first half. And if people start to know he does stuff like that, then referees are going to know they've got decisions to make. Sometimes if it's a bit 50-50, but that's exactly what I want my striker to be doing in the second half, making their centre back throw him to the floor. So he doesn't shy away from stuff. So I love that, but it just has to be a little bit more careful, because there's a few occasions I've seen I've got, that's, just be careful what you're doing there.
Most of the refs we get don't know what day it is, mate, let alone remember what Cabia does.
That's true. I don't think we've reported that old Harry Brown's red card has been rescinded, and rightly so. Hopefully we don't see Phil Marsden darken our door for a while. Now, let's get on to the real stuff. Our news, as you saw us on Twitter.
Allegedly.
Neil Harris. No, allegedly. We've got reports on it. If he wants to come at us, he's more than welcome to. That tunnel has CCTV, my friend, and there's a reason why the Humberside interview took quite a while to come up. But Neil Harris threw a punch at Cabia. I don't know whether it connected or not, but how old is Cabia, Mike?
I think he's 24.
24. Neil Harris tried to punch a child in the face like a moron. And before we even get onto that, let's go to Mike, because Mike, we need to talk to you about it. The other report is someone threw a bottle at Doug Tharm. How do you feel about it? Are you okay? Is that person currently is sleeping with the fishes?
I don't think it's wise that I talk about it at the moment until certain things that have been put in place come to fruition.
Yeah, Mike's got a pig farm, as they say in Snatch. Don't trust a man who's got 16 pigs.
Can eat 400 pounds.
Exactly. So, look, we all like a little bit of afters. Aaron says if 24 is a child, some people are going to be in serious trouble. Look, Aaron, I don't like child violence as much as the next person, but Neil Harris clearly should be arrested. Hopefully he's been charged and he will never be able to play football again. Bruce, you are the moral compass and the HR officer of the DN35 podcast. What would you have to say if you found out if one of the podcasts punched a child? Like if someone punched Sam, if Mike punched Sam, what would your response be?
I didn't see it. No,
but send us the video.
I don't really care what went on in
the
the
Conservative Party with that level of HR diligence, Bruce.
I've got little interest in what went on in the tunnel. That's not for us fans to see what goes on down there. I'm not bothered.
Bloody is. I paid my ticket, paid me money.
Bothered.
I want to see the violence. Show me the violence.
At some point,
then you paid your money to be down the tunnel. Otherwise, no, nothing to do with us.
Well, then that's why, Bruce, we are getting you a mascot package for every game, so you can be down the tunnel.
Should one of us say these are the views?
Walked into it. No, they're not the views of me. They're the views of everyone and the podcast. And if Neil Harris wants to sue us, bring it on. We'll have a fight in the tunnel.
Sue me.
Yeah, exactly. What do you want? This laptop, you can have it.
I said something that was potentially libelous, it was Sam Barrick under the bus. You say was something potentially libelous. No, I'm bringing you all down with me.
Andrew Niles wants to know how we found out about the tunnel incident. Andrew, we know many people and we have many eyes and we are everywhere. So one thing I will say is no one's denied it, have they? No one's come out and denied it. No. We know.
No,
We're here to help you guys out.
About it either, apart from you.
And the person who told us, and the other one. But all I can say is what a lovely first day it would have been for Christine Green as club secretary. It's my first day here. Brilliant. He's Millwall through and through. It's in Neil Harris's blood. Well, shall I tell you what also? Blood of caviar on his shirt. That's what it is, Aaron. Yeah, so there we go. I don't know what else to say about that. No one else is telling. We've got no other information on it. Bit of a set to. What a silly man. What a silly man.
Got proper naughty.
Proper naughty. He's Millwall, and he's watched too much Green Streets. Oh, do you think it counts as biggest head loss of the week as well? Oh, everybody else has gone really quiet.
We're not sure. Yeah, he's.
What?
Is that
You've
your
made
internet,
Sam
or
malfunction.
That's
Sam
your
malfunction.
Is that what your mouth just did?
Sam can use it as a reason. The internet, my computer broke, so I didn't hear anything that Alex said.
I was trying to sound witty and say something witty, but I just couldn't get the words out, so I just gave up mid-sentence.
So he just went.
You are ready for a lordship, Sam.
Next time you decide to say something witty, can you give us a heads up first, mate?
Yeah, have a run up, Sam, when you're saying the witty thing. Go on, do you want to repeat it?
I couldn't do that again if I tried, mate. It was hardly voluntary, was it? It was involuntary.
I think we have got audio. We've got audio clips that sound like that from you.
Like that. I can't find a drum. Do you know what? I was trying to find the drum roll, but I couldn't find it. I'm really sorry. This is a terrible thing to try and do.
What was that Sam noise? That Sam noise we had. I think Hannah raised a point about it, didn't she? What was that?
Yeah, but Sam got upset about it, so we don't talk about it anymore.
Sorry, we don't talk about HR. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
How shit at HR are you?
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
remember
you're
that
not
assault.
manager, really, mate. Bloody hell.
This is corrupt.
You're part of the problem, Fenwick.
You're the problem.
You're part of the problem.
I feel my position might be becoming untenable.
I'm just trying to find. There's nothing. I don't have a drum roll anymore. That's a shame. I've got the steam train. There we go. Sam, what were you going to say?
What do we think to the Wednesday's move to give us 2,000 tickets, provided we only sell 2,000, provided we sell the 2,000 extra tickets?
Well, let's go to our marketing and merchandise head, Bruce Fenwick. Bruce, you have sold so many laptops in your time and other electronics. Do you believe that this is the way that Sheffield Wednesday should be going about selling tickets?
It's all been sorted now, though, hasn't it? The club have said it's sorted.
They've just got 2,000 tickets now.
No, they have. They've sorted it.
What did they do? I thought they bought them.
Well, they might have done, but they've done some sort of. I think that the club always thought that when faced with the prospect of us handing over some money to them, that Sheffield Wednesday's dodgy owners would not say no to any amount of money, even though they said. I think we played a bit of hardball with them, and I think it's worked out. We've probably said, look, we'll give you a £5 for each of them for the last 500 or something, because our share of the other 1,000 that we've sold is probably more. Do you know what I mean? They'll come to some sort of agreement, won't they? But is it because they needed to open up a certain part of the ground and then it needed stewards, and because we've sold the Leppings Lane end already, haven't we? The upper and the lower. This is partially in another stand, from what I understand. Stand and understand.
They did change their statement, didn't they, about it? And the second version, I think the only change was that Grimsby Town will hold this money whilst ticket sales are ongoing. So basically saying we're not giving it to Sheffield Wednesday.
No.
So it wouldn't surprise me if we've sold them, because Town fans are just insane, a lot of you. But it also wouldn't surprise me if Town have maybe bought the last bit, as you said, Bruce, because they get pretty much 50% of it anyway. So if they hadn't, so it would make sense, because if they sell most of them, they're still quids in.
It's gonna be a funny old atmosphere on Tuesday night, isn't it, Bruce? Because there's gonna be 5,500, 6,000 of us, and then 1,800, 2,000 Sheffield Wednesday fans. It's gonna be like a bigger version of like Hayes and Yedding in the old days, when there'd be 3-1 Town fans on an away day.
You would think you're going to have to just make the atmosphere, aren't you, yourselves? But with that number of fans, there's obviously an interest level, isn't there? We've not played at Hillsborough, as far as I can remember, for 20 years. So
and the rest, I'd say.
There were two generations of Town fans. Well, we played them in League One, didn't we, when we got relegated in 03-04. So I think I've got a feeling we played them towards the end of that season. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's 21, 22 years ago, and so there's a couple of generations of Town fans that have never been to Hillsborough. So that's a tick. I mean, it could easily be a league fixture next year, couldn't it?
Then again, there's a generation like you, where going to Hillsborough, used to been to Hillsborough a dozen times or something like that.
Yeah, there is.
Went to Barnsley every year, and we've been to Barnsley every year, and went to Meadow Lane every year, and so on.
Barnsley, outside of Lincoln City, the team we've played most.
Oh, we used to play Barnsley all the time.
Even more than Notts County.
Yeah.
We used to draw Barnsley in the cup a lot as well. But I think you're right, Sam. But don't you think if it was a little bit further, it's an hour and a quarter from home. It's not far. You can go after work. You don't need to book a day off. It's a Tuesday night game at Hillsborough.
Direct trains.
We can't get back. Apparently.
Can you not?
No, there's a problem with the trains apparently getting back. But it's I get what you're saying, and you're right. There's probably middle-aged folk that have been a lot of times.
This is based on anti-luncheon analysis, by the way. This is where this has come from.
You'll probably find.
But we still haven't been for 20 years. But on the flip side of that, like you say, old boys, for want of a better, or girls, for want of a better term, it's not like there's going to be baiting rival fans in the corner or anything, is it? It's not going to be any anybody that's any Sheffield Wednesday fan that's at that game on Tuesday is going to be in a shirt, aren't they? You know, they're not going to. They're not. It's not going to. It's not going to be. It's not going to be needle from the home end, because anybody that's in the right mind is not going to be there.
I think you'll probably find that neck of the woods as well when you start going into Yorkshire. You will find a lot of exile Grimsby fans that have moved not that far away, but just down the road to that sort of area. So that'll help.
There'll be a lot of Grimsby fans who live nearer Hillsborough than live near Blundell Park. There'll be loads of them.
I think you've also got to wonder, do we go into that as favourites? I think we do.
That's a statement.
No, you think?
I hope not.
So there's nobody. The home atmosphere isn't a contributing factor because there's no fucker there from them, and they're doing so poorly that they're surely going to be playing a lot of kids.
They were 3-0 down after 20
Don't get me
minutes
wrong.
yesterday.
I think we'd have to play well to win, but I don't think it's not the same game it was last year. I tell you that for free. It's nowhere near that sort of game.
We're
He's
better
going
than we
far
were.
to Yorkshire now.
And we're better than we were this time last year as well.
See they.
Well, yeah, there we go. It'll be interesting. It'll be nice to see. I'm looking forward to it. And if you can't make it and you're in London, we're going to the Bridge Tap. If you want to come along and watch it there with us. Where is it? Near London Bridge.
London Bridge. And shout out to Sam, who is doing me an absolute solid.
Subject to my recce tomorrow. Yeah.
He's doing me an absolute solid because he works within about 20 minutes. Even though he's not going on Tuesday, he's going to Yorkshire. He's going to go and pop by for us to make sure it's all.
Don't tell him he's like a hero because he's going to the pub.
He's a top lad. Top lad.
He's going to the pub, and you're making it sound like he's Mother Teresa.
Yeah, for full transparency here, I have suggested to one of my mates, would you fancy a couple of drinks in London Bridge tomorrow after work?
Oh, get fucked. Yeah. Always selfish, you, aren't you? It's always about you. Take it all back.
Aaron's saying they beat Leeds with kids and Leeds went strong.
Opportunity knocks. I said to my mate, do you fancy a couple of drinks? Can he get the train from London Bridge back to where he lives in Kent? And he said, that'll do. Won't he, for a nice couple of drinks after work, and we haven't been there for a bit. So yeah. So everyone's a winner, mate. Thank you very much for this errand I've got to run now.
Oh, can I just make a family announcement?
You had 10 minutes at the beginning. You had the 10 minutes at the front about your bloody wedding in your
can we do it?
spaghetti bolognese?
What do you call it at the end? Is that an amendum?
AOB. Go on, tell us. What did you want?
I'll do it at the end if you like. I'll do it after the credits if you like.
No, I got okay. Well, you're never here.
Oh yeah, good point.
There are tens of people on 10 hooks here, Bruce.
If anybody in the Louth sort of Horncastle area has got any jobs going, my wife's auntie's just moved up from Kent. You just reminded me. I've seen her today. She's on the lookout for a job. So yeah, any of our listeners in the Louth, very trustworthy. She used to work in a uniform, and yeah, give her a job basically.
I can attest for her being trustworthy because I think this is the auntie that had the keys for London and she looked after those.
Yes. It's his auntie with the keys for London, but no longer.
Has she dropped them off?
She's had to drop them in a PO box in somewhere in.
Is this why
Lambeth?
Chatham? Is this why there was a tube strike last week? No one could get in.
She doesn't work on the trains anymore now.
Sam, I don't know about you.
Maybe it was the day after a leaving do.
Maybe. Sam, let's talk. Let's ostracize it. How did you find the tube strike last week?
That was horrendous. So I'm fortunate I only live about 45-minute walk away from my office in central London. But it just brings the whole thing to a standstill. I mean, I've got friends who live out in Tooting. You had to get a train from Tooting to Balham and then a bus from. It just brings the whole thing to a complete standstill. But no, Steve Cameron promised not a single day of strikes when he was elected in 2016 to replace Boris. When strikes went down under Boris Johnson's stewardship of London, they got up under Sadiq Khan. So here we go. We can't wait. So yeah, it's absolutely nightmare. It just brings the whole thing to a standstill because you can't get an Uber. Buses often give up. So it's easier just walking everywhere, which is a problem when it's been pissing it down with rain most of the week. But now you can shut up now. I am. Go on.
I know. I don't know much about politics, right? But if Reform get in, will they still have Uber boats?
If Reform gets in, Uber boats are a devolved thing. They're not so.
What do you think that? Do you think
Before-
they'll be completely confused and Nigel Farage is on the Thames stopping every boat possible?
I don't know.
If he-
Will there be Uber boats?
You're going to need a passport to use the Woolwich ferry, aren't you?
I think you do at the moment.
You won't need a passport. You won't need a passport. They'll just. No, I'm not going to say that actually.
Well done.
I'll be back
Well
tomorrow.
done, Sam.
He'll have me back.
We went on the Uber boat, and I didn't realise how far it goes that way. We went past Greenwich and went out.
It goes all the way to Greenwich. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing.
We were miles out in
People
the
are
middle of
turning off
nowhere.
in their droves right now.
He was in Calais.
The Thames,
So-
the Thames was dead wide where we went.
I just love
Just
the idea
on the
that
English
Bruce has just stayed on. So I had to get the so I was in the XL doing our little defence event. I got to see Jason do his bit, which is a bit weird. Wanted to ask him about a thermos flask when he's talking about investment in the defence sector. Can I bring a thermos in? And when you're talking about defence investment, is this a contract extension for Cameron McJanet? Apparently it wasn't. But I had to get my route home was cable car like a Bond villain on the Uber boat at Greenwich, where you have to wait for 45 minutes at the O2, and then it takes about an hour on the boat to get to the embankment.
Oh, you
There we
don't
go.
stop moaning, you lot, do you? Fucking hell.
Well, that's because it's a nightmare. Those of us who have to go in central London every day. It's a
Yeah,
disaster for
we're not
people.
all in Surrey.
Hey, some of us don't say it like that either. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, some of us don't say last either, Alex. But no,
My
He's
commute,
complaining about public transport. You used to live where do you used to like Keelby? You know, one bus every week, and that was fine for you. Stop bloody moaning, you dirty southerner.
Last bus to Grimsby was 5:30 in the evening.
You've
I
had
nearly
it
said- I
too
was-
good for too long down here. Gone.
I was in Keelby last week, Alex. I nearly sent you a picture of the pub.
Which one?
The one around the corner from the school, where on the road where the spa used to be.
Well, that's both of them, but yeah, Nag's Head, I assume that's the one across from the school.
Yeah, that's the one. I couldn't remember the name.
There's an actually Wotton as well, isn't there? Which is that's not that far from Keelby.
I've never been to Wotton.
My commute takes about 3 minutes, I think, in the car.
Oh, mine takes.
Yeah, found out where Bruce worked. He has total disregard for parking. He just parks on the pavement.
I do.
Alex,
if you're lucky when you drive off it, you take out some waifs and strays, so it's all right. I don't mean that. That's not true. I haven't actually done that.
Oh shit, and that was our preview of Sheffield Wednesday.
just some town content. And I was talking about, we mentioned Jamie Walker properly giving some shit house to their 26 and number 6 when we scored the penalty. Mariner Hollow's just put a video up on X, formerly known as Twitter, of Christy Pym turning around and giving it to the Cambridge fans.
It's well worth looking at. I just saw it. It's
go and have a
funny.
look. That's hilarious.
The girls won today, Alex, 5-2. I saw.
They did smash Chesterfield. Christine was tweeting about it. Lots of people coming back out to support them. They play every Sunday. We'll have the manager on soon to talk about what to expect from the season. But all in all, starting quite strong. So great to see. More support, the better. And hopefully they'll have a game at Blundell Park very soon.
And I see the fans forums on YouTube, Mike, for you.
I'm going to go watch that afterwards.
That'll be my background listening tomorrow.
There we go. And has anybody got anything else to add? Bruce, I assume we're not doing calendars, even though you haven't played that game for about 4 years.
Retired it.
It's not your choice. We're going to have a meeting.
I'll only bring it back. I'll only bring it back if there's public demand for it.
Okay, if people want the calendar game, if we get more than 10 comments, let's go low. 10 comments right now if you want the calendar game.
So when we put it out tomorrow.
I don't want to bring the calendars back on board a bit.
Is it because you messed it up?
No. Nothing to do with that.
I miss it.
Ben says bring back the calendar game.
Like you've taken your bat home, Bruce. That's how this sounds.
I think I told you I had a how old are you? I had a couple of how old are you in the last week. Maybe we need to do an episode of that. We're a bit gameless without Youngie, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, Julie does all the work.
He's the Bruce Forsyth of the podcast. But I've got an idea. So when we tweet out the show tomorrow on Twitter, if we get 10 people commenting that they want calendars back, you'll do it. Is that what you're saying?
No, here's the thing.
I've seen them AI bots. You can get them to say anything.
When we've got 730 subscribers on YouTube, when we get to 1,000, we will bring it back.
Oh, that's all right. And that's safe forever.
Yeah,
that's safe forever.
I think
that's the podcast equivalent of we will sell you Isak when we've sold Messi or whatever Newcastle were doing in the summer.
I think you've nearly got to your 10 in the comments, guys.
Got to 3 at least.
So let's have a look. How many are we on YouTube now? This is just all filler. You can go now if you want to. We're on 7.
I'm driving a minibus on Tuesday.
No, what the fuck? Why are you leaving this stuff out? Why are you driving a minibus?
I'm driving a minibus full of Maisie and her football team and some parents to Hillsborough for the game.
Unbelievable.
9.
And you keep this stuff till the very end.
Because it's a Tuesday night, though, I'm going to stick to a 5-pint limit because I don't want a headache at work.
Yeah, that's fair. The kids, they'll never suspect a kid full of kids, will they? To stop you for the booze.
It'd be fine. If I just let the wheels ride on the central reservation all the way back down the 180, it'll be okay.
Maisie, do us a solid. Can you drive us back? So it's mostly straight roads.
They're like fools and horses on the Jolly Boys outing, weren't he, when the copper's outside the bus and he's like, how many's he had? It's a fumes from Del Boy's dodgy radio.
Yeah. Bruce is 5 and drive with Bruce Fenwick.
Which means an entirely different thing for Bruce.
Everybody else will be all right on the way down the 180, won't they? The police will be following my minibus waiting for me to cock up.
Yeah, because at least you played it safe, Bruce, and not mentioning it live on air. So, yeah.
No, but that's why we're going early, though. If you get there early and you have a few pints, you're all right for later, aren't you?
No.
I know.
No, you're not.
Again, I'm only jesting. I will not be drinking.
All right, Otto.
It does make me laugh, though, right? You know when you was younger and you used to go out and you'd be out till 2 in the morning, and then you'd be at college at like 9 o'clock, and you'd had a skinful on the Thursday night at student night, but because you'd been home and you'd been to bed, you thought you were right to drive the next day. How stupid was that?
I was sensible in my studies.
No, but you did. You'd go or on a Sunday morning. You'd drive to Sunday League football. You'd have 5 hours sleep, and you'd get up and you'd been pissed the night before. I would never do that now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
but you thought back then you were all right, but it's like going out at dinner and having 5 or 6 pints at lunchtime, and then thinking I'm all right at 8 at night.
You're more likely to get done for drink driving the following morning than you are on the evening, apparently.
I was stupid. Sure. I must have been stupid back then, but everyone did it. But I would never do it now.
Which college did you go to?
He's a piss-taking bastard. Grimsby. He's saying that are you shocked that I went to... I did, to be fair, though, mate, I had to do GCSE resits in the first year.
Yeah, because you're pissed all the time.
No, I was in Lucky Las Vegas in town. Oh, no, that was when I was doing my resits, to be fair. I do wish
Aaron
now,
says
though,
Sam's...
that I tried harder at school.
Do you wish so? Why?
So I could have earned more money and been nearly retired.
I was enjoying that. Sam, stop interrupting Bruce when it's talking crap time.
Right, anyway, it's time to go, innit, for me?
Yeah, now he's finished. He's ready. Right, I've got my business done. Let's all go now.
I'm going to stay all right, Jack. Though.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is congratulations to my sister for going to get married on Friday. That'll be very lovely. It also means I'm missing Barnet away, and I don't resent her for it, but she could have planned it better.
Why? She's still getting married on Saturday?
No, but she's, as Bruce has just demonstrated, Mike, you don't want to get hammered the night before and then drive back, do you? So you want to be responsible. We won't talk about what time I went back after the Man United game and what time I went to bed, but